Ooh.
So, hey guys,
So,
welcome back to day 3. Is this? It's Wednesday.
well,
so
it's
yeah.
my second day. I don't know
but
what it is for you.
I guess
but
day 3 of Grand
Yeah.
Theft Developers Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, welcome back to, this is day 3 for me, it's day 2 for Seth.
So-
Welcome back to Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah.
So today was pretty good. Today was a lot of networking. For those of you who don't quite know the GDC setup, which is none of you guys, because our audience is white, cis male, American, Midwest motherfuckers.
Why?
I said that I went to a diversity talk today. Okay,
let's give some context to that casual racism right there.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. First, what I was gonna say. Since you guys are our audience, and you guys don't know quite how GDC works, today was the first day that Expo opened up. So, I have an all access pass, which is similar to the Summits and Tutorials pass, except I have access pretty much everywhere. I can go to whatever I want, whenever I want. All things are open up to me.
I guess you could say it's all access.
Yes, it's pretty much all access. Seth has bought an Expo Pass.
That's me.
Yeah, and today was the first day Expo Passes opened up.
Yeah, so they were setting up the expos all yesterday. And we actually went over there and looked at them setting up. And now they finally have them finished.
Yeah, so the Expo Hall is where NVIDIA sets up. It's where Oculus sets up.
Yeah.
It's where companies set up to meet prospective people they want to hire or meet.
So the North Hall is where they were looking for potential candidates to do their stuff, and then the Expo was them showing off the stuff they made and hey, talk to us about things and here's their stuff.
Yeah, I had heard rumors of free Gear VRs.
They had a competition, I think. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
I was wandering around there the most of the day, and I did not hear that. But
I had heard rumors of free Gear VRs. What I think actually happened is people bought Gear VRs while at the booth, and they would walk out, and people just assumed they were free, I guess.
I know.
So,
yeah.
first rule of GDC, people are fucking dumb. Everybody hears everything. Nobody really knows what's going on.
Let's actually get into that. So, one of the things that I've heard a lot is there's a lot of important people here. Yeah, it's the place to be, to do your stuff. But there's also a lot of indie developers or just people who haven't been here or just are interested in it in general. And so there's this thing called imposter syndrome, where they just feel like they don't belong and they're underachieving. But at the same time, 95% of the people would fit in as imposters, but they're not. They're the people that are building the community as the devs. Don't dwell on that.
It's the idea that
Also, be in the shot.
I am in the shot. This is a really wide angle lens. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
But it's the idea that what you're doing isn't good enough. That even though you're making a game or you're starting a community or something like that, that there are people out there who could either do it better than you, or that you aren't actually meeting the expectations of the people you're trying to serve. Yeah. Imposter syndrome is the idea that either you're not good enough or the people around you aren't, or the people you're trying to serve don't think you're good enough. That's where the imposter part comes from.
It's a mixture of perfectionism and low self-esteem.
Yeah, and it's actually something I struggled with a lot today. I struggled quite a bit with this imposter syndrome. So I want to be a producer, right? Many of you guys in the club know. I want to be a producer, and I've been around professional producers all day. I actually met at one of the round tables some of the lead user experience researchers at in fact the only 2 user experience researchers at Bethesda, and I just felt why am I here? Why am I here among people who are lead researchers at Bethesda, the people who made Fallout and Elder Scrolls? like, what am I doing here? Like, I felt like I bought my way in, you know?
It's kind of like, yeah, like you bought the ticket to be, it's like buying a ticket to Olympus. And you're like, I'm unworthy.
Yeah.
Why am I'm dirtying the sanctuary of the gods.
Yeah,
basically.
and so it felt weird. Like, it felt weird. But, like, and so, like, when I was like, I'm a producer, they're all like, oh, cool. Like, they know what that word means.
'Cause
like, they know what a producer does.
I think
I don't know.
We
like,
touched on that a little bit. Like, being here, especially at the conference in general, is like, you don't, like, people are appreciative that you are doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, like, fake, like, games matter here in the comparison.
They do. Like, I've seen people wearing, like I need diverse, hashtag I need diverse games t-shirts.
Yeah.
Which is not something you would see back home at Iowa State.
Yeah, like, it's, like, even, so, like, let's go into this a little bit more. So, like, you're interested in going to producing.
Right.
Like, so, producing in general, like, people, you have to go through that, but not even, like, producing games. Like, you're producing a toy to, like, farmers that don't really care about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, this is an entirely different culture, as most of you are probably aware, considering who our audience is.
Yeah, our audience is what, game developers?
But,
yeah.
like, I can see why everyone moves here. Like, I'm personally really considering it, even though we have a hotel in the ghetto. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like, seriously,
Like,
it's right on the edge of the ghetto. This isn't really doing it service. Here, let me just go over to the like, you guys have all seen, you guys actually probably haven't, because that was all first day. There is a bra hanging in our tree right now, but like our area isn't really the nicest.
We're in like the border of Tenderloin, if that means anything to anyone.
So the Tenderloin is the sketchier part.
Yeah. So I've
here,
talked to a couple people, and they're like, "So you're you're by Tenderloin. I would recommend taking this route to your hotel.
Yeah.
Also, don't talk to people at night." And I'm like, well, "Thanks, Mom," but at the same time, there are people who live here, so I'll take their advice.
Yeah. Like, we're on kind of a
it's
sketchy
not-
area.
But at the same time, like, everyone's been really nice here, so it's more like, don't talk to the people that use common sense, basically.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad, actually.
But either way, it's a completely different atmosphere from
But then again, I
Ames.
haven't been. Yeah. But then again, I haven't been mugged, and I did feel kind of worried when we were walking through a couple parking lots.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, but still, like, it's not Ames. Like, this, like, city life is different, and I think a lot of you guys know that. But, like, it's really different when it comes down to, like, who you are. Like, we are game developers, right? All of us in this club are making a game of some sort. And, like, in the city, like, people care about that. And this is something we want to bring back to Ames. This is something we want to bring back to the area, to the Midwest, is that, like game design is a thing. Like, you can be a game designer. It's like the idea of being a starving artist. Like, we want to bring that idea back to Ames and to Iowa and to the Midwest in general, to where, like, it's okay to be a game designer. It's okay to want to be a producer, to be a programmer, or to be an artist, to be whatever the fuck you want. Like, that's what we're striving for at ISUGC.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that happened on camera. Deal with it.
Like we just want to, like all of everybody at ISUGC, like, whether you're whether you want to make it a career or you're just doing it as a hobby, like, I don't know, keep it up. Like, keep up that shit. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
So,
you know?
yeah, let's talk about, like, what you did at the summits, or whatever.
So, one of the things I did at the summits was actually, I went to a summit called 10 Ways to Diversify, it was 10 Ways to Introduce Diversity to Your Game. And it was made by this team. It was given by a woman who worked on a team that made a game called 80 Days, which was Time's Game of the Year. It was Time Magazine's Game of the Year. They rated it as, like, just like it. They gave it Game of the Year because it very, very aptly handled diversity in the world, as both, like, on terms of gender and race. Specifically, race was a big one. Like, race was handled very well in it. You're literally it's based on Jules Verne Around the World in 80 Days. That's why it's called 80 Days. And so, in it, you travel the world in whatever number of days, in 80 days, or sometimes your journey lasts longer or shorter, and you meet other people of different tribes. But either way, she gave a great talk about ways to introduce diversity into your games, about including people, about changing the way you think, and about like changing the people who you work with, all in the hopes of adding diversity to your games. And even she mentioned, it's not really about fairness or like equality. It's about like
representation or no.
It's similar. It's kind of like that, but like the idea was like fairness is actually. It was okay. It was all pretentious bullshit. Let me get that straight to you guys, like right now. But it's also that matters because the idea was that fairness is actually a facade. Like fairness is actually a fantasy of a certain demographics power. It's a fantasy given to us by what she put like white straight males. As fairness is something based on what we do to other people. And that was something I had never... There was a lot of stuff. Like, it's something, don't worry, I'll talk to many of you guys if you guys are interested in it. But, like, fairness is, like, something... It's a whole bunch of stuff. I have like, a page... I have, like, 2 pages worth of Evernote notes on it. But it was really cool. No, it was really cool. But what's great is, like, I think... So I talked to her... One thing that's really cool about this conference is everybody's here to network, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone here is here to swap business cards. And so after the speech of somebody I don't even know who she was, I didn't know who she was, but she gave me a very moving speech. And so afterwards I walked up to her and was like, hey, I'm from a fairly racist Midwest Iowa. Can I, like, convince you to talk to our club or to do a bi-weekly dev talks about diversity in games? And she was all for it. She's like, yeah, dude, just like, here's my card. Email me after GDC. Like, I would absolutely love, like, she's just so for spreading diversity and spreading equality and all that other shit that, like, she was like, of course, I don't even know who you are, but, like, if I can sit down with you for 30 minutes on a Skype chat and, like, help change something, I'll do it. And so, like, that goes into the whole imposter thing. Like, she must not really feel that because she's like, everything I do matters. And so, like, even if it's just sitting down with a group of students for 30 minutes talking about diversity in games, it matters to her. Like, she's like, I'm doing something that matters. And so it was crazy. It was, and so, look out for Bi-Weekly Dev Talks Season 2, even though we're not going to call it that.
So, yeah, I'm actually going to use that as an amazing segue to go into my stuff. So, like, we talked about yesterday, and I think I actually was kind of distracted with me trying to go through all of these networked business cards that I got.
Look at that shit.
Look at all.
Like, look at that shit.
I have a personal goal of talking to 100. Well, it's actually evolved because I've surpassed talking to 100 people. I've surpassed that, by the way. Day 2. Hashtag, like, pro status. Let's go. So, my goal is to get at least 100 people's business cards. Like, look at this. IGN. Like, we're gonna talk to them about journalism. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Let's go. I don't know who, like, Christian. There are some ads in here, I'll admit. But, like, Christian Mingle for Gamers.
It's Tinder for gamers.
Yeah, it's actually really funny, which is why I have the card. Here's Lauren, who's like, who did we talk to? Like the Irish game developers, I believe.
Yeah, it was a group of Irish game, like they were actually from Ireland. It wasn't just like, look, we're Irish American. Like they were straight up from the Isles. It was really cool.
I met a lot of people from Belgium, from Germany, from Poland. Like Lauren's from Australia, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, Lauren, if I'm totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure. But,
Let me see.
Yeah. I met a lot of people.
Yes, she was Australian.
Yeah. I met a lot of people in like middleware, which is fine because I wanted to talk to them about like how to do stuff with haptics, which is important. And just like the goal of these are to like glean some wisdom from these people. And if they're specializing as middleware, like they're gonna know stuff about that particular thing they're selling.
Right.
Like for instance, the haptics guy is gonna know shit about haptics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
true.
true.
So we want to glean basically we want not to be the blind leading the blind. Basically, we want experts to give better information and help people learn things, which is why I'm Speed Tree. I talked to these guys, which is asset.
You talk to GitHub.
That's a
haptics
thing.
Guys.
Yeah, well, Speed Tree is important because they make realistic environments, particularly trees and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
There was people from the UK with these guys.
Oh, yes, he was cool.
Yeah, and then there was a physics engine people. They know how to do physics stuff, which is really cool. And I know a lot of you wanted to do stuff with not just game develop in general, but just like physics engine, for instance. That was brought up at one of the suggested lectures.
Yeah, I think somebody mentioned that on the poll daddy.
Yeah, here was Oculus, who I'm personally really excited to talk to about stuff. Yeah, Oculus, that's a happening thing. Let's go.
Hip hop happening.
Yeah, there were people with more peripherals on VR. VR is really huge. Half of the expo exhibit was...
Yeah, so this was the first year of VRDC, which is the it's VR Game Developments Conference.
Yeah.
They used to have AGDC, which was App Game Developers Conference, or ADC, which is App Developers Conference. Needless to say, that one tanked. That one, apps were... We have been very, very disrespectful to the app market. But either way, people weren't a big fan of it. However, I've been hearing people talking about how, VRDC fucking blew fucking up this year. They've seen double the amount of attendees because of VRDC. VR... I don't fucking know what it is, guys, but VR is gigantic right now.
Imagine if, Legend of Zelda is an amazing game, right?
Of course.
But imagine you have this wave of people that were only knowing about 2D stuff. They're I only know about side scrollers and interesting Metroidvania-esque look down, whatever. So it's going from 2D games. And then, hey, did you know there's a third dimension you can make things in? It's called voxels. That's a thing. It's huge. Yes, and so...
It's a whole other dimension. VR right now truly is, the biggest thing in the pretentious asshole version of game development right now. VR is kind of the thing.
It's kind of hey, did you know I'm a VR developer? And then everyone gets in a massive erection. It's really...
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, everybody having a giant erection. But, the truth is VR is currently the way we want it to move forward. I don't know if it's going to be the way the industry moves forward, but it's the way we currently
talk about
want
the viability.
To. Right. In the same way that the App Developers Conference didn't move forward because we didn't want apps to be the way forward for the industry. And yet, look at Candy Crush. Look at any game you play on your
mobile
phone, Ingress, anything you guys play on your phone. Apps were the way of the future, but we were so resistant to them. We were so against the idea of apps being the way of the future that we kind of lost a lot of potential there. However, with VR, it's the opposite. We want it to be. However, me and Seth, we don't really think it's going to be the way of the future.
We'll have a pretentious talk about that another time.
Eventually, yeah.
Because, in the car ride with, James, I had a pretentious talk with James Portnow, important person I am. But, it's a viability thing and, short-lived, you can't... It's not really likely that you'll have huge hour investments like you can in like Skyrim or whatever. Just it. Yeah, we'll get into that later. Like you could, but it's not recommended basically.
Right.
So,
But anyways, we're actually gonna wrap up this episode of Many Days to Come.
oh, by the way, shout out to That Dragon Cancer for winning your amazing good job. Also, we're friends.
Okay,
We're friends with you.
so just so you guys know, okay, so there is an ISU alum who goes by the name of Josh Larson. He created a game called That Dragon Cancer, and actually today at the Independent Games Festival Awards, it got nominated for 2: Best Audio Design and Best Narrative?
Well, we have the thing, don't we? Oh, I think
I do.
Yeah.
It was, let's see, it was Excellence in Narrative and Excellence in Audio.
Yeah.
Excellence, and, they got nominated for literally the best indie game in audio, the best indie game in narrative. Unfortunately, he didn't win, but Josh Larson is working on a team with people in Des Moines.
Yeah.
Like, in Des Moines, guys. Like, 30 minutes fucking away from us.
So I'm calling a shout out because you're being recognized from Des Moines. Good job.
Like, good fucking job. Like,
It's
like
possible,
Josh
people.
Larson, like, thank you. But also, just so you guys don't know, just because I don't know if you guys are going to be following this, go look up a game called Her Story. I think it's for iPad. Go check it out, because I don't know what year it is, but full motion video games are all of a sudden making a comeback. They won 3 different awards at the Independent Games Festival Awards and the Games Critics Awards. It won Game of the Year.
Let's put this in perspective. It won more awards than Undertale did.
It won the only award that Undertale won was Audience Award of the Independence Game ones.
So like there's I know that I'm being like Undertale's a thing to use things against, but it's because the audience and it's popular.
Right.
So,
right. It won more awards than it won 3 times as many awards as Undertale did. Go check it out. I'm gonna be checking it out. Seth might check it out. I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, girl.
Yeah, and so like I'm gonna check it out. But it's a game about I believe it's about somebody who got murdered, and then the police interrogation of the wife or the girlfriend, one of the two, about whether or not she did it, but it's her story. It's about her story losing him, about what she deals with, about whether or not she did it. But it's all done with a fully, like, actually acting.
There's
an actual actor. It's called Full Motion Video because it's actually a small clip of her acting. Like, it's a full video. And it won awards. It won Game of the Year for the Independent Games Festival Award show, and which is insane because I don't think anything with full motion video has won ever in its life best game of anything, best of anything at all in the world. Last time we saw this was on the 3DO, which was a console none of you guys know about, I promise you. But yeah,
someone in the comments is gonna be like, I know exactly what you're talking about, fuck you.
You say that like we have people who are going to comment. Anyways, with that last comment by Seth, we're going to end this up. Thanks for tuning in or something like that. But no, guys, GDC really is a great event. If you guys have a chance to come out here, I highly suggest it.
Yeah. Bye.
Alright. See you guys. Signing off.